The 10-minute vulnerability. A quantum computer running Shor's algorithm can derive a private key from a public Solana address in under 10 minutes. While the hardware to execute this attack at scale does not yet exist, the mathematical foundation of Solana's current ED 25,519 signature scheme is now considered a legacy artifact with an expiration date. In April 2026, the Solana Foundation and core developer teams admitted that the timeline for quantum relevance has compressed significantly. This is no longer a theoretical debate for academics. It is an engineering deadline for the protocol's survival. The network is now moving to replace its entire cryptographic core with a lattice-based scheme called Falcon. The Anza and Firedancer Convergence. The most significant development this month isn't just the choice of algorithm, but the rare alignment between independent validator teams. Anza and Jump Crypto's Firedancer team both independently concluded that Falcon is the only viable path for a high-throughput chain. Falcon stands for Fast Lattice-Based Signatures over NTRU. It was selected because it offers the smallest signature size among NIST's standardized options. For a protocol like Solana that optimizes for every byte in a transaction packet, signature compactness is the difference between maintaining 50,000 transactions per second and seeing the network's capacity collapse under its own security overhead. The 666 byte engineering trade-off. Current Solana signatures are a lean 64 bytes. Falcon signatures are approximately 666 bytes. This represents a 10-fold increase in the data required just to authorize a transfer. In an environment governed by the maximum transmission unit of the internet, this extra weight creates a massive problem for transaction packing. Engineers are now forced to decide if they will reduce the number of instructions allowed per block or implement a hybrid signature model. A hybrid model would require both a classical ED 25,519 proof for current compatibility and a Falcon proof for future resistance, effectively doubling the computational cost of every on-chain action. This is the hidden cost of the post-quantum era. The 3-stage migration roadmap. The April 2026 roadmap defines a clear 3-stage transition. First, the introduction of SIMDO 416, a new syscall that allows smart contract developers to verify Falcon signatures on-chain today. Second, the network will shift new wallet defaults to post-quantum keys once specific hardware milestones are reached by quantum researchers. The final and most difficult stage is the forced migration of legacy accounts. Unlike Ethereum, where account abstraction might simplify this, Solana's architecture requires users to actively sign a transaction to move their assets to a new, quantum-resistant address. Any account that fails to migrate before the first cryptographically relevant quantum computer goes live will be permanently vulnerable to key recovery attacks. The signal under the noise. The real takeaway from the Falcon migration is that the era of cheap, lightweight cryptography is ending. By choosing Falcon, Solana is acknowledging that the network's future performance will be throttled by a permanent quantum tax on bandwidth and compute. This migration proves that protocol longevity is now prioritized over raw headline transactions per second. The convergence of Anza and Firedancer on this specific lattice scheme suggests that the technical debt of the last decade is being called in early. For developers, this means the days of ignoring cryptographic overhead are over. You are now building in a world where security consumes a massive slice of the block space budget. Watch the implementation of the Falcon syscall on the DevNet over the next 90 days. If the verification latency spikes as some skeptics expect, the protocol's throughput targets for late 2026 will need a total rewrite. Subscribe for more